beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about Milk Makeup, a brand that I really enjoy and that I use a lot, but I don't feel like I talk about very much on this channel, and they don't have a lot of new releases, new products coming out, which is probably why. But their Sunshine Skin Tint is a staple for me. It's something that I wear a lot. I'm wearing it today, of course. Today I have a PR package from Milk Makeup. Inside we have a bunch of their sticks, just a handful of highlighters, and then a whole bunch of lip and cheek tint. And then we have some bronzers and the brand new Sculpt sticks. These are the contouring colors. The lip and cheek and bronzers also have a couple of new shades as well. So obviously there's a lot to go over. They sent the entire collection to me, so I'm just going to swatch everything for you. And then I'm also going to do a demo using a bunch of the new colors on my face. That way you can actually see these in action. And fear not, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be wondering what's going to happen to this big giant box full of colors that obviously won't work for me and things that I just can't possibly use up. I have a friend who's a makeup artist. It's somebody that I met through doing social media. And when I get whole collections like this, particularly when there are a lot of shades that aren't going to work for me, I will disinfect these products and send the collection to them so that they can use it in their kit. So these things are not going to be wasting away at all. I promise they will be well loved and well used, supporting a young makeup artist out making their way out in the world. So really, these are going to do double duty because they will get to live that second life fully, but they also get to make this video, which hopefully will be helpful to a couple thousand people out there too. I'm going to swatch all the shades for you first. I'm going to do them in groups. That way you can take a close-up look at these shades, see what they look like actually swatched onto my skin, on my arm. Then we'll do a little demo, that way we can see them in action as well. Each one of the sticks kind of has different packaging. So the highlighter and the bronzer both have the white outer packaging, but you can kind of tell on the top more the difference between the two. The highlighter has a more shiny metallic finish on the color matching label on top. The lip and cheek sticks have this lighter gray outer packaging, and then the new Sculpt sticks have a really dark, almost black outer packaging, and that does coordinate to the packaging on the actual product themselves too. My first thought when I opened these up was that they were so teeny tiny. I mean, I have small hands. I am a pretty petite little lady, and 4 of these can really fit in my hand, so hopefully that gives you an idea. These are pretty small, but don't let that fool you. These actually have more product than, for example, this Huda Beauty blush stick. I grabbed this one because it's a formula that I really like, and it's a product I've used and enjoyed quite a bit. I actually like the Huda blush formula more than the Milk Makeup one, so I guess that's just a matter of preference. But when it comes down to the dollars and cents, you're actually getting more packaging on the Huda one and more product in the Milk Makeup one. The price per gram is pretty different here. Personally, I'm still going to use the Huda one more. I just think it performs better. So value isn't always about the dollars and cents, but it's worth pointing out that the packaging is a little deceptive here. Speaking of packaging, I want to show you how to open these up without breaking the makeup. They have these little plastic covers on top. If you just twist up the stick so that some of the product is exposed and that plastic cover isn't touching the top of the tube anymore, you can just twist that cover or hold on to the cover and twist the stick and it will start to pop loose. That way you don't damage your makeup. Just take it slow, do it really gently. Sometimes they're pretty stuck on there, but as long as you follow this method, you should be able to really quickly and easily remove that little cover, and you don't need to keep that plastic cover anymore. Let's start with the highlighters. This is the smallest group. There's only 3. These are the 3 highlighter shades. I do feel like they could use another 2 or 3 shades in here, maybe a more golden one, or maybe like a fun color, like a purple or pink or something with a little bit of a duochrome shift would be a cool addition to the line. And I feel like that would really match the Milk Makeup energy too. Personally, I use the shade Lit, so I feel like there should be another medium. Now let's go to the largest group of swatches, that's the lip and cheek tints. And this group does have 3 new shades, 2 of which you'll get to see in action later on in the demo. These are the lip and cheek tints. I did swatch them in 2 separate groups. That way they weren't all jammed in on my arm. This way you can really see them individually and see what they look like applied to the skin. Of course, these are a couple of swipes, so the color is more built up, and they will perform differently just depending on how much you layer up. I did notice during my time using these on my face that they do tend to blend away pretty quickly, at least on me. Bonus, I guess, is that they layer really nicely, so you can combine a couple shades together or build up a few layers if you want more drama. But personally, I didn't really get the pigmentation, the payoff that I really prefer for my own blush. So I do think these work better on the lips actually than on the cheeks, at least for my style. Now let's talk about the matte bronzers. There are 3 new shades in this category. 3 out of 5 shades are new. I'm surprised that they only had these 2 Blaze and Baked shades previously, but I'm glad to see the line is expanded. And I feel like this is a pretty decent range. However, at least on my skin tone, Dazed and Baked look pretty darn similar. So I think I could get away with Baked, and maybe it would be nice if they had a much lighter shade for my super pale friends out there. Lastly, we have the Sculpt sticks. These are completely new, and there are 4 shades. For only offering 4 shades in the Sculpt stick, it seems like a pretty decent variety, a decent range. That shade Shimmer is a little bit warmer undertone wise compared to the other 3 shades, but since I don't do makeup on any other faces besides my own, I'm not sure how that would act. I think a makeup artist or somebody with a different skin tone could probably tell you better than me. But I will tell you that these more grayish shades perform really well on the skin, and they do not look lifeless on the face. Now that you've seen all of these shades swatched, I want to show you a demo. That way you can see a bunch of these in action. I am going to use at least 1 shade from each category. So let's see how these look actually applied to my face. I really wanted to use a lot of the new shades so that you could see those in action in case you're already familiar with some of the existing shades. So I grabbed this one called Muse and I just dabbed that onto the lips, kind of smudged it on the center and then blended it out with my fingertip, and I think it looked super beautiful. I was really happy with how the lip color went on and how it wore. Next, I'm going to do some bronzing and contouring. First, using the shade Toasted. This is the contour shade, and I just added the tiniest amount. I was really surprised by how pigmented this was, and at the same time, how nicely it blended out. Usually it leans more towards one or the other. It either blends really well, but you have to build up a lot, or it's super pigmented but takes a lot of work. So I was very pleasantly surprised, especially as somebody who doesn't contour a lot and sometimes kind of fears messing up contouring and making my face look dirty and crazy. I thought the contour stick was super easy to work with, the Sculpt stick. And similarly, this bronzer, when I swiped it on, I thought, oh, it looks kind of orange, kind of crazy. But I blended it in with this Lethal Cosmetics face brush, and it just worked so well. It blended, again, very nicely. I think it looked very natural. That orangey look really didn't have much of an impact on my skin once it was blended out. It definitely is still a warm look, of course, but it's a bronzer. I just felt that the Sculpt stick and the bronze stick worked really well together and gave me a very natural, sculpted, sun-kissed kind of skin look, which I really prefer and is very much in my comfort zone. This demo really starts off strong because the lip color and the bronzer and contour are my favorite part of this entire demo. The blush and highlighter end up just really not working super well for me. So, spoiler alert, this is the best part for sure. Now I'm gonna add Smirk for my blush and the shade Lit for my highlighter. I'm really surprised that this is the medium highlighter. I think that they really should add a nice warm gold for medium skin tones because I, as you can see, have some pretty pasty pale skin, and the middle tone highlighter is really what works best for me personally, shade wise. Now, as I was applying Smirk, I just dabbed it on the cheeks, blended it with my fingers, and at first I thought, man, this looks so great. Again, it's blending in easily. It looks really, really natural. And then once I added the highlighter on top and blended that in, by the time I had done that, I felt like my blush was already disappearing. I don't know if it's wiping off because of the highlighter or what the deal is there, but I decided to go back and add a little bit more, let's give it a chance because it looked so great at first. And now, as even I'm applying the second layer, it just seems very lackluster, almost like it's disappearing as I blend it in. I'm inspecting it and I'm like, is there blush here? What's going on? I don't know if I should blame the highlighter for this blush performance or lack thereof. The highlighter just, I don't feel like it really did much of anything. It's definitely not showing up much. Maybe I got a little bit of like a glowy, sort of sweaty looking glow from it, but it's not metallic. It's not really sparkly. It's just not really what I expected based on swatching. So I definitely wasn't super thrilled with how things were going at this point. I decided to add the shade Muse that I put on my lips on top to maybe add a little bit more punch to the cheeks. And I also decided to blend that in with a brush instead of my finger in case that was the problem. I could see a little bit more of an improvement here with this much brighter, deeper shade, but all in all, I didn't feel super satisfied with the blush look. Like you can see here, even just a couple minutes later when I filmed the close-up to show you the whole face, it looks like the blush has faded again. It's definitely better with Muse added on top, but I can't say that I love the total look. It was definitely a lot of highs and lows. I'm very surprised to say that I like the Sculpt and bronze sticks more than the lip and cheek and highlighters. I love a good cream product. I love a cream blush especially. So I really expected the lip and cheek colors to be my absolute favorites. Maybe if I had chosen a bolder color, I would have liked the impact a little bit more. Even though I have very pale skin, I still like a good punch of blush. So I think I just chose a color that maybe just wasn't gonna do it for me. I'm definitely going to experiment with some of the bolder colors because I think I'll like those more. This does perform beautifully on the lips, way better than I expected. These multi-stick type products usually are pretty disappointing for me when it comes to the lip application. It feels really light and weightless, but the color is definitely showing up and it's lasting really well. I just think it looks nicer on the lips than it does on the cheeks. The highlighter was the biggest dud for me. It just really didn't show up much at all. I also think that they're lacking good shades in the highlighters. That's definitely the lowest ranked product for me. The lip and cheek tints have promise. However, the bronzer and the Sculpt stick really surprised me. They blended in so well and they look so natural and it just seems like it's part of my face. It doesn't feel like makeup at all. I'm not big on contouring. I rarely contour and I often skip bronzer as well. So the fact that I am most attracted to these products really says something. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these products. Are you interested? Have you tried these? Did you have a completely different experience? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! If these all fall out of this box, I will cry. I don't know. Hopefully that was a coherent train of thought. You never know. Sometimes I think I'm killing it and then I go to edit and I'm like, that did not make sense. Now let's help. Editing Amanda. I'm sorry. These multi-stick. Man, I don't know if you can tell. You can kind of tell if I show you. I got attacked by a wasp. So, you know, that's my karmic retribution for living somewhere that's so warm and pleasant and beautiful outside while other people are suffering through snowstorms. If it makes you feel any better, I got attacked by a wasp. It looks way better now than it did 2 days ago, but it hurts. It super hurts. I'm okay though. I'm alright. I'm not allergic, so better me than somebody who's allergic, I suppose. It does suck though. A lot. Alright. I wanted to love it. I mean, I do have a casually sweaty cheek, but I really think it's from the shimmery blush more than the highlighter. The highlighter was a real bummer. Could be worse. Could be worse. Whew. I'm gonna film with these next. Look how fun these are. These are the new Urban Decay Naked palettes. I don't know why they're sticking with the Naked name for these, but look how fun the packaging is. Who even cares? Look how fun that is. Oh, shiny and rainbows and sparkles, and I'm pretty easy to please. I'm pretty easy to distract, and these are dangerous to have in the office. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. You're so nice. I'm glad you're here, and I love your face, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.